So good morning, everybody. Just give me a sign if you can hear me well. Thank you, George. So I love seeing your greetings, morning greetings coming in. Especially I like the term of sunny at the moment, Cornwall. That's really how life is, isn't it? Just at the moment, and then there's another moment. So my name is Nirmala. I'm speaking in from Germany, where I live and work. I am a runner since more than 20 years. It's about 20 years ago that I actually met Martin in Bodgaya and Christopher Titmus, who authorized me to offer these teachings in the world. And I had the chance to practice with wonderful teachers in India and Sri Lanka. And my biggest teachers are my partner and my 3 children, who managed to trigger stuff in me, which the quiet surrounding of a silent retreat place in nature and my calm meditation cushion would never be able to trigger. So here in Germany, I lead a school for embodiment, yoga, and meditation, and I guide people with body-focused therapy in one-to-ones. So I welcome all of you here, no matter what nation, what mood you're in, what gender, what body size, what hair color, what mind state, what emotions you bring here, and I hope you do so too. So in case you're not familiar with this platform, at the end of the meditation, so I will speak for about 10 to 15 minutes, and after we have a meditation time for half an hour, and at the end there are 15 minutes for question and answers, and you are absolutely so welcome and invited to, in the type a message field, to type a question there. And it would be very supportive if you type question in capital letters, so I can see easier, okay, that's a question for me. Yeah. So if we would be all in the same room together, I would love us to invite us to look in each other's eyes and really just sink in with welcoming each other here, becoming aware of the preciousness of the other being. And in a way, we are in the same room, and I would love to invite us to spread our awareness out to all the other people in the Sangha, those who are here at the moment, those who are on holiday and sleeping in. So spreading out your awareness and your compassion, your kindness, while keeping in mind that we don't know how long we all live. Each of us could die any moment. So the topic of this week is bringing death into life. And a really, really simple and very powerful practice for daily life can be that when you meet someone and you look in this person's eyes or you hug somebody, that you're really aware of the preciousness of this moment. Like maybe mentally whispering to yourself, and you too will die. You too will die. because we miss each other so much. And just really take this invitation and try this, maybe just for this week now when we're here together. Try this in the afternoon, at lunchtime, wherever you are, really being aware of the preciousness, like among all these people in the world, this is the person just being with you. We take situations for granted. We take life for granted. We forget to see the beauty and the mystery. In Buddhism, death is not seen as an enemy. In Buddhism, death is seen as an invitation to love and to be grateful. Buddha emphasized the importance of contemplating our own mortality. To really keep in mind the fact that everything changes, that life is unstable, that everything dies. He advised to really come close to the fact that even this body is going to die. And it's a really huge topic to talk and reflect about death. I could easily fill a whole week-long retreat with this material. And there are like so many more things we could go into, like which I might not touch so much on this week, but you are so welcome and invited to bring yourself with your questions, with your comments, so we can look into different issues of the subject. Like, for example, grief, letting go, being with the groundless, being with the daily deaths, where you acted in a way you maybe rather hadn't done it like that. The regrets, death of a relationship, the little endings in life, the death of this breath, the death of this thought, of this last sunshine during the day, the last day of your child in school. So my wish is to stay really basic during our hours here together. I try my best. And like really allowing to feel what's coming up for you, with the invitation to remind us again and again that everything dies, and to see how can we live our life as good as we can. How to live our life that at the end of our days, and we don't know if that will be tomorrow or that will be in 10, 20, 30 years, that we don't regret. These teachings the Buddha offered can support us to become true to what we want to put in this world, how we really want to live our life. This practice can really give us more energy when we are becoming aware of death, more aware of death, more energy to live from the place we really want to live from. So during this week, we will look also into some sutras, for sure the Mindfulness of Death sutras, but also others. And we do some of the 9 contemplations of death, the practice which comes from the 11th century Tibetan Buddhist scholar Aisha. And today I like to go more with what comes up for you, how to stay present with death, how to stay kind with death. What's coming up for you if you ask yourself the question, am I really prepared to die today? Am I really prepared to die today? And I'm aware that like our nervous systems react in different ways to the topic of death. I'd just like to share a little story. When I was years ago, I went with my 2 of my 3 children to the Body World exhibition. So this, I don't know if you know, this exhibition is one of the most successful traveling exhibitions in the world. It's been in more than 160 cities, I think. So it's the Body World exhibition contains real human parts, including a series of fascinating whole body plastinates, as well as individual organs, organ configurations, blood vessels, transparent body slice. Also, like, I don't know how to say in English, but really tiny babies in the womb. Like, so I went in there with my son, who might have been around 6 years old, and my daughter, who was then around 9 years old. And we came in there, and my daughter was like, "Oh my God, this is so disgusting. I just can't stand it." And she was really like starting to tremble and to freak out. And my son, he as soon as he got to understand what was going on in this exhibition, like full of like dead body parts, he was like, "My God, this is so cool!" Like, and he was really fascinated about it and running like from piece to piece and checking it all out. And so we have so different reactions on death. So my invitation for you for the whole week is really to stay kind with yourself, to stay kind with death, but especially with what is coming up for you with this issue. So at any time something feels overwhelming for you, like, please feel free to stand up, to shake your body, like all the tools I offer here. When I'm here, like, look out of the window, turn your head around. So it's like focusing on the exhalation and just being curious for what this topic brings up in you. We all have protective strategies in us which prevent us from being close to death, because we cling to this body, mind, heart. We don't want to look at death. And rather than allowing death to enter our life, the mechanism of ignoring that we are dying, on a deeper level, if it doesn't protect us, but it keeps us from living life fully. If we don't look at death, we like ignore. And I just like to offer the reflection, like, where do you deny death? The little death, daily life death? Where would you like to be more compassionate, loving, caring? The Buddha was very radical in his teachings, like he was teaching the truth. So death is a truth to all of us. It has something so beautiful in it. There are a few things like I can just immediately see which are so beautiful. And one is that it makes us all equal, right? When we are dead, there's no gender, race, color, all that. Let's not waste our time. Let's really get engaged with the real stuff. That's what is really important to us. Shunryo Suzuki, he said, the most important thing is to know the most important thing. So at the end of the day, you could ask yourself, if I did die tonight, is there anything I regret? So yeah, I'm happy to be with all of you here in this week together, and it's time for our meditation practice. So you're invited to find a comfortable position, maybe laying down, standing up, just doing what is doing good for you, while entering the formal space of meditation, the formal practice of meditation. And just check what your body needs before it gets more quiet, which doesn't mean that you shouldn't do any micro movements during the meditation, or that it couldn't be like really supportive for you to invite micro movements in a very slow pace in your body. Just really checking what position your body wants to be in right now. What is supporting you to calming the bodily formations? Maybe you even want to do walking meditation. If this topic itself already brings up a lot of distress, you could place a hand on your chest. Just make space for your grieving. Could be really supportive to keep the exhalation a bit longer, like exhale just right into this magic space, place after the exhalation, before the inhalation. Just checking, can your body let go a bit more into the ground, into this earth? There are parts in the body which could relax a bit more, like maybe the shoulders can drop down even more. Maybe the jaw can become freer. Allowing the exhalation to be even longer, to really sink into that space behind the exhalation, after the exhalation. And if at any time during the meditation something feels overwhelming, what supports you to stay here, to stay with yourself, with all the stuff coming and going, being born and dying? Maybe it's just one hand touching the other hand, just one hand stroking your arm, while staying close with what is happening for you and staying so kind, allowing just the things to be as they are, allowing the mind state, body, mind, heart, kindly, compassionately, just to be as it is. And sensing into your hair, the head hair and the body hairs. Knowing that one day they will be gone, dissolved. And the invitation is to let go into love, into the unknowing. And sensing into your nails. One day they will be gone. Dissolved into the unknown. Letting go into love. And sensing into your teeth. One day they will be gone. Letting go into love. Sensing the skin. Sensing into the skin of the whole body. One day the skin will be gone. Dissolve. Let go into love. And while we keep going on with that, bringing awareness to different parts of the bodies, like recommended in the Satipatthana Sutra. Being aware of what is going on for you. Being there with your kind hand, with your compassion, with your allowance, while sensing the flesh. One day it will be completely gone. Sensing the tendons, one day they will be gone. And sensing the bones, and the bone marrow. One day they will be gone, completely gone. Letting go into love. And sensing the kidneys, one day they will be gone. Sensing the heart, one day it will be gone. Sensing the liver. One day it will be gone. Sensing the pleura. One day it will be gone. Sensing the spleen. One day it will be gone. Letting go into love. Sensing the lungs. Letting go. One day they will be gone. Sensing the large intestines. One day they will be completely gone. Sensing the small intestines. One day they will be gone. Sensing the gorge. One day it will be gone. Sensing the feces. One day gone, gone, gone. Sensing the bile. One day it will be gone. Sensing the phlegm. One day it will be gone. Sensing into the pus. The blood. The sweat. One day it will be all gone. Completely. Sensing into the fat. One day it will be gone. Sensing the tears. The skin oil. Saliva. All gone one day. Sensing the mucus. The fluid in the joints. The urine. One day all gone, gone, gone beyond. Surrendering to the unknown. To the deep silence, spaciousness, openness, love. What about just for the last few minutes, letting go? Whatever arises, allowing it to let go. Surrendering to silence, stillness, space. May all beings discover the deathless. May all beings live in their highest potential. May we all care for this world with love and compassion. And may there be peace on earth. Thank you so much for joining in with this meditation. Go slowly when you're finding your way into maybe a different, less formal form of meditation, and not less important. Listening, staying close with yourself while listening. Really bringing the practice from your cushion into life. Yeah, and maybe you just stretch your body and turn around, do what's doing good for you. Mm. 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 So I'm really grateful for being invited to this platform to teach here. I hope some of it lands for you in a supportive way. And it's quite amazing that we all make this happening here together. Like, I surely wouldn't speak up here if you wouldn't be there, you weren't there. And I'm sure it's supportive for each of you that the others are here. And we also can support this platform in running, because there are costs involved, even though we offer the teachings on Dana, because we really so much want to welcome everyone, like not depending on your financial situation. And yet there are costs involved, and there are high costs involved to keep this complex platform running. And so if you want to make a donation, which is really highly appreciated, I post here the donation link, hopefully. Let's see. And the Dana will be shared among me and Sangha Life, and I am really grateful for it. Thank you so much. So it's time for your reflections, for questions, for comments. And I see, Josie, you're writing, I found this topic challenging and wondered if others did too. Yeah, Josie, this is a really challenging topic. Yeah. And yet, like, I teach retreats which are called death and joy, because it goes so close together. And if we don't open to the truth, we're in a state of denying or living with a fear we often even don't feel. So it's really worth looking into that. I remember when I was a child, I wasn't living with my parents. I was in a boarding school, and I often spent time in a family of a friend there. And so I also slept there in the house, and opposite their house, this family had a daughter, and she was 13, and she died in a car accident. And the parents, it was their only child, they closed the curtains. So the house was, they closed the curtains, they were like black curtains. And all the years I lived there, and even later, many years later, when I came to visit my friend's family, I could see the curtains of their house, opposite of the street, closed. And it really like hit me as a child. It was really like, if something like this happens to me, and like losing a child is like, to me, is like one of the most, there's a lot of fear around that. And yet, I really want to find a way of not having to close black curtains all my life. And that's where we are here for, right? To really learn also to face the things which we think we can't face. Meeting the groundless. Yeah. So Ruth is writing, at the end of the meditation, I felt connected to grief for this dying planet as well as for my poor self. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. It very often goes together, because we are not just this body here, we're so much more. So yeah, all this grief about the planet often comes together with when we bring awareness into death. And I also really want to invite us to make space for grief in our life. We don't live in a culture where grief is welcomed. I've been in other cultures. In India, I saw it. In Turkey, I saw it, where after the death of a person, like women meet together, men meet together in a huge group, and they cry together, and they scream together, they grieve together. It's like what I saw was like so much aliveness there. It was also like meeting our pain, meeting our grief. Life is not possible without this heavy-duty grief. And yet we can so much overview it, right? And open a bottle of wine and look Netflix rather than getting close to this grieving. Cass, you have a question. Following the order of the Satipatthana body parts, I always want to update to the more modern knowledge of the body. What are your thoughts on this? Haha, yes. I mean, I don't know so exactly what you mean by a modern knowledge of the body, because there are so many different versions about it, and I just see the body as a whole. For me, the spine really begins in the toes and it ends in the head and it goes in the arms, and it's all the spine. Yes, but I'm very open to be as creative as you can and to put modern knowledge on the Satipatthana Sutra for sure. Like I think we really need to bring the Buddha's teaching into our modern society and use different words and bring it to kindergarten. It should be in kindergarten, it should be in school. There's another question. So yeah, maybe because I thought of reading this part of the Satipatthana Sutra, but maybe I do this later. And also you can just look it up, yeah, the formal part of it, because what I put here in the meditation isn't like the clear instruction like that in the Satipatthana Sutra. It's more form, and it's more meant just to reflect, to be with. Yeah. But sometimes the Buddha's language, it's really poetic, and sometimes it's really firm and stiff, I think. Yeah. So Cass, really do it in your way, and I would like be happy to, maybe you could record a meditation like that and send it to us. And yeah. Because there are like much more places of the body also we can name, and then it's a question, what is beneficial for you? And I feel like the teachings I'm offering, they're often quite flexible around the formal traditional stuff. So I like to use also some language of the tradition. So let me see. Cleve, I think you said towards the end of the meditation, may we come to know the deathless. Could you say more about the deathless? Well, Cleve, thank you for the question. Thank you all for your questions. It's incredible to get questions. And to be in this together. Yeah, the deathless. You know, when the Buddha left home and he saw a sick person on the street and an aging person and a dying person. And then when he went out the next time, or was it all in the one go? I don't remember. He saw a monk. And the thought came to him like, what else is there? Like, is life just this aging, sickness and dying, suffering? Is it really this? Or there's something beyond? So these teachings, they're surely pointing towards something we can't put into words. We can't put into words, and we can come close to it if through letting go. Also letting go of being aware of something. Also letting go of spaciousness, of what else did I mention? Openness, surrendering. What's beyond there? Is there something deathless? Just really find out for yourself. And you could also make this an object in your meditation, like just, what is deathless right here, right now? Is there anything? Yeah, that's the path. And I think that's the path of the Buddha, to come close, to discover the deathless. Yeah. Crystal, could it be useful to do this meditation not with my own body, but with the body of my beloved ones, parents, children? Yes, I think very much. Yes, very much. And also, like in the Satipatthana Sutra, it's mentioned like being aware of the body internally and externally, and there are different interpretations about this. And one is that you're aware of other people's bodies also, and you can very, very well do this with other people, like especially if there's attachment involved, like with our parents, with our children, seeing what's coming up for you. Yeah. And it's also like, you know, if you're very obsessed with your body, like how it looks like, how it should be, and like being part of buying a lot of creams and stuff, and just to make your body different than it is. And if you feel some kind of obsession around it, it's also great meditation. Like, how is it? Like if you really tune to your mucus, to urine, to fat, to blood. If we see the body in these different parts, also if we're attracted to somebody else, if we're attached very much to somebody else, it's just this. So during the meditation, George shares, I went through the whole process and time of my mother's death. It is still a challenging process to remind that living body coming to the end, and even more challenging to acknowledge that all of it has turned into ashes. And yet it's really important for me to do this exercise and acknowledge that the same will happen to me. Yes. Thank you, George, for sharing. Thank you all for being here with your openness and vulnerability. Isn't that amazing that all of us, none of us will be here in among 100 years. None of us. May we all open to this big mystery. May we all discover for ourselves, what does it mean to be born, to die? What does the deathless mean? So thank you all so much. I see there's another question, but I will stop here. It's 9 o'clock and I will respond to this question tomorrow. Bye-bye. See you there tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. Lots of love.